What's up, Stud Nation? Oh man, I'm not. What's up, Stud Nation? Trying something new here. This is the Just Off the Post LAFC show. So I wanted to continue to add to No Scrubs Allowed, and one way to do that as a huge LAFC fan is to try to get more involved with LAFC, of course. So I picked a good game to start doing this show, luckily. So we just got done playing the Vancouver Whitecaps, which is amazing, or it was an amazing game, and it was something we really needed. And I'll jump into that here in a little bit, but I wanted to start out by congratulating Danilo Silva on a fantastic career. He announced his retirement earlier today, and that's huge, man. Well, let me finish my point. And he's a big part of our history. He's not a guy that when we got him, we expected him to be a super stud or anything, but he was able to be a core for us and give us what we needed to try to win games. So that's impressive. Now, with that point said, I'm going to check to make sure that the mic, and I just muted myself. So I don't really know how this thing works still, trying to figure stuff out, but I guess I don't know if I think it might be the computer mic instead of the actual mic I have set up here, but I have no clue. So there doesn't seem to be a way to do that while live, so you guys have to deal with it. Sorry. But anyways, LAFC just finished off a 6-0 win against Vancouver Whitecaps, which is amazing. It's really cool. We needed it. We really needed it. We've been struggling here. We've been dropping in the ranks, and it seems like every time that we play San Jose or Vancouver, because they are bad teams, it helps us out, and it gives us the chance to bounce back. And we beat them 6-0, which really helps with the standings because it gives us back a positive goal differential. We score in bunches, but we tend to allow in bunches as well. So getting a shutout, a clean sheet is huge. So I don't even I'm happy because we finally won. We got it done. And we've been struggling on defense, and something that I have said seems like Bob Bradley's plan is the best defense is a good offense, and that's why we send our wings up, or our backs up, our outside backs, and that's why we play a lot of the way that Bob wants to play, where as soon as we lose the ball, we attack right away to try to get the ball back. And this is the way that we want the game to work out when that happens. We had 66% of the possession. Oh, actually, I guess right down at the end, it dropped down to 65. But we had it going. We're just shooting like crazy. We had 19 shots total. 11 of those were on target. So we were just putting it on the target the entire time, whereas Vancouver did not get a single shot on target. So it's really huge that we were able to do that. We got Atuesta back, and I know we were playing Vancouver. I get that. I know that it's not some sort of world beater, and I know that Atuesta didn't have any statistical numbers, no goals, no assists, no shots even, or anything like that. But he is the core for our value. I've said it on the podcast time and time again that Edward Atuesta is the guy that really makes this tick. I know that Carlos Vela is the MVP, and I know he's the guy that really shows up on the score sheet and does his thing. But Edward Atuesta is really one of our MVPs in my view, and it's huge because getting him back gave us a calm. He had the captain's band on, he was doing his thing, and the team just felt more confident around him. Brian Rodriguez. I've said so many just bad things about him in the past, and I'm not 180ing on him, but he had a great game. He seems to look more and more confident against bad teams. I want to see him show that confidence against good teams because he's clearly able to. He ended up with only one assist. He had a couple of hockey assists, I believe, as well, but he showed up. He was beating his defender like we expect him to. He was making good passes, playing with his head up, had some good corner kicks. I really loved it. Bradley Wright Phillips, man, what is there to say? He should have had a hat trick. One of the goals was called an own goal, which it was an own goal, but I mean, the man had a hat trick. He had 3 goals. He had a bicycle kick. He had just a spinning volley. He did it all. He's the man. So Bradley Wright Phillips really steps up, especially with Dio being out, and Diego Rossi. Well, of course, he adds to the goal tally as well, just to make sure he's in that race for the Golden Boot. He wants to continue to score, so he wasn't gonna stay off the score sheet in a blazer like this one. So, but Dejan Jakovic, yeah, our center defender that and I'll talk about this a little bit after this little recap, but Jakovic is the guy that we're trying to find somebody to replace for him, or find somebody to replace him. And he came out and he scored a huge header. He's great in the air, and he got it done. He scored the opening goal in the second minute. So it's huge to see that we were up 4-0 in 13 minutes, and Bradley Wright Phillips should have had a hat trick in that time, or could have had a hat trick. I guess I won't say should, but that's the kind of game we need to play. Now, we did not get to see if our defense is any better, and I doubt they are. So moving forward, we need to do – actually, we did get to see, and the defense left a man completely unmarked on a corner kick that should have gone in, but I think it hit K square in the gut, upper nut area, and just it stayed out of the goal. So, I mean, that was huge that he was where he needed to be. But the defense needs to figure out how to mark, especially on set pieces, especially on crosses. It's ridiculous, and it's just not okay. But the young kids got to play pretty much an entire half. I don't really know why the subs weren't done at halftime, but they subbed them in around the 51st, 52nd minute. And that was Mohamed El-Munir, Danny Musovski, and one other guy. Or no, 2 other guys. I guess Jordan Harvey, but he's not a young kid. And then Francisco Janela got to come in for K. And then near the end of the game, Bryce Duke came in for Atuesta to just kind of spell him and get some reps for another young kid. Our youngsters looked pretty good in that second half. I love El-Munir. I've said it. I really like him. I think I mentioned last podcast or 2 podcasts ago after our game recap that I think El-Munir needs to start and move Blessing up, and just either Palacios or El-Munir can play on the right side if they're capable of doing that. I don't know if they're capable of doing that, but if they are, that is something that I think they should do, because El-Munir has proven to me that he is good. Musovski went out there. He looked like he had a goal as well. That got changed to an own goal also. So he's out there trying hard, really playing hard. When Bryce Duke came in, it was already 6-0. It was pretty much over. And it's just, what do you do at that point? He didn't look like he had the motivation to really go out there and play. He was making a lot of mistakes, but it ended up not worrying. I mean, again, he only played 18 minutes. Hey, Koa's here to say hey. I think he might have been here pretty much the whole time. That's pretty cool. He's black and gold, so that's fine. But anyways, Bryce Duke just didn't look like his head was in the game. We've seen him make great plays before and do pretty good things, especially for a 19-year-old. So he just didn't seem to have it today, and it's hard to get motivated to go in for a 6-0 game. So he just wasn't there for that. But anyways, that's pretty much the game. I was really excited. I hope we move forward to play that way. But in that same vein, now that Danilo Silva is out, we now have his money. We still have Dio's money. And of course, we haven't really replaced Zimmerman with anyone yet. We need that center back. And I know we're short on right backs right now with Blackman out, but Blackman is a great right back. Palacios and El-Munir, both great outside backs. And Segura is good, but he's shorter, he's smaller. So we need to get that big center back that plays like Jakovic, but is just younger and faster and able to mark and be a defensive captain. That's something that Jakovic nor Segura really do. They're not that communication captain that they need to be. And Pablo Cisniega back there in the goal, he's still young. He's not able to really talk and get stuff together. And for whatever reason, Vermeer, who has the experience, wasn't able to get that defense shifted correctly. So it's really difficult to see that. We need a signing. We can beat up on San Jose. We can beat up on Vancouver all we want, but we need to make a better defensive signing if we are going to stand up to Seattle, who ended up losing today, which is great, or Columbus or Toronto or those good teams. It's going to be difficult without a good defense. Yes, we can just push forward and score all we want, but it's not going to matter if they get by us and we can't do anything to mark them. But that's where Atuesta comes in. I know it was Vancouver. I can't say that enough. They're not good. But when Atuesta is in, he's a defensive center midfield. He doesn't let the ball get back to the defense. He stops the ball first. And I know it's not always him doing it, but he's so good at keeping shape and so good at commanding the midfield that when we do lose the ball up top, whether it be Rodriguez, Wright Phillips, Rossi, or even one of the outside backs coming up, losing the ball on the wing, we counter the counter by really pressing hard and trying to get that ball back. And that's something that's led by Atuesta. And I'm very glad that he's back and that he was able to show that and then didn't have to play 90 minutes on that bum leg. So if he can come back and be full when it comes time to be full, and then whenever Vela decides to do whatever he's going to do and hopefully come back as well, then we could be a formidable force again. We're still LAFC. We still have all the pieces of that supporter shield except Walker Zimmerman, and Tyler Miller as well. But I like what Cisnega does back there. But Zimmerman is the piece that really hurts us. And then, of course, this year, being without Vela and without Atuesta really hurt us also, plus just the pandemic and all the craziness that happens is just par for the course. It's a crazy year. I mean, Orlando hasn't lost since the MLS's back tournament, I don't think. So it's a crazy year. But I'd shout out to all my Orlando fans out there. They're doing well. And I told my buddy Eddie, who is an Orlando fan, before this season, that before the original season, that I thought they were a playoff team. And now they're definitely a playoff team with 15 teams coming out of the East or whatever is going on with that. But they are there. But LAFC should be there. We're up to 6th now. We have a positive goal differential. Hopefully we have momentum. Momentum is what we want to see. Getting a clean sheet is huge. Getting the youngsters in there, getting some rest with this just grueling pace that we have. Let's see real quick before I get off of this bad boy what our next game is, because I don't have the schedule right up on me. And, yeah, my internet doesn't feel like helping me out either. It's not like I pay for good internet or anything. So I do, though. I do. But anyways, we should play again, Saturday or Sunday? I would assume. All right, here we go. Interesting stuff right here. This is content, me searching for a game here. So, yeah, we play Sunday, and we get to play at home against San Jose. So hopefully we can string together 2 huge wins, especially after these big 3-0 losses that we had with the Galaxy, followed by Real Salt Lake, and then we got to beat Portland there in the middle, and then another 3-0 loss to Seattle. So a back-to-back big win would come in handy. So San Jose let in 5 goals again earlier today, so I think that is a possibility that we could really dominate them. But I hope to have at least the murmurings and the rumblings and the rumors of a center back coming to Los Angeles. We need that, and it's just a matter of time. But this game is a good stepping stone. Again, I know it's Vancouver. I get it. But we were demoralized by Seattle. We were demoralized by LA. We were demoralized by Salt Lake. We need to go out there and do what it takes to win. And if it takes a Vancouver and San Jose back-to-back, then that's what we'll do, is a Vancouver, San Jose back-to-back. Let's drop double digits on Vancouver. Let's keep the momentum going. So I'll be back after that game to recap it as well. Just a quick quick thing like this, but I'm very excited about the way that this game went, and I'm excited to move forward with the Just Off the Post LAFC show. It's kind of like a Wheel of Fortune just off the post, which didn't happen for us this game, and then the post LAFC show where I come on after the LAFC game. So I think it's pretty clever. If you're old and watched Wheel of Fortune with your grandma as a kid, then maybe you'll think it's clever too. But this is the first episode, hopefully of many, and hopefully of many following LAFC wins. I don't want to come in here sad. So as always, be a stud, not a scrub.